Right, let's get straight into it as I don't have much time today. Morrissey, our hero, and at this point of our story, which is the beginning, a lad of tender years thought of valves as wondrous gifts sent from the heavens. This boy, whose curiosity knew no bounds, had nurtured an immense fascination for these most elusive mechanisms through his repeated and over time ever more furtive midnight explorations of the local sewage farm. But was it actually wise of Morrissey to devolve all responsibility for valves and indeed the physical world in general to an ineffable deity, some made holy by man, mind spawn about which we are only fit to ponder? Of course not, I would have thought that was obvious. His ever-supportive parents, Big Jean and Mary, and an inquisitive younger sister also named Mary, not sure why I should mention them here though, often endured discussions with the young Morrissey about the variety of these devices he had encountered during his most recent nocturnal creepings. He found, and now we're actually getting to it, an uncanny similarity between the hidden workings of a valve and the unfathomable machinations of God, so much so that they formed the bedrock of his spiritual worldview. Such was the profundity of his fascination that he credited a divine origin to these crucial gadgets. His ever-loving parents, continually bewildered, never failed to lend an ear and encourage his peculiar interest. Though seriously, who could really blame them? Really, they were just as drawn into his world as he was. You could even say that valve fever had descended on the Smith household. That said, this was a parenting style that turned out to be to Morrissey's detriment in later years, though we won't go into that here today, I'm afraid. However, now Morrissey's understanding of valves was about to undergo a revolutionary transformation, and that's not an overstatement, I promise you. Yes, one fateful day while fumbling with his mittens on the floor of the library, Morrissey happened upon a surprisingly specific engineering book called Valves Unveiled. For you see, the V section happened to be on the lowest shelf, you see. I hope you saw. It told tale of the exciting common gate and globe valves, and also more rarefied types such as the ephemeral butterfly and highly respected solenoid valves. This was really actually the turning point for our hungry young explorer. Oh, as he leafed through those hallowed pages, the veil of divine mystery that had once shrouded these infernal flow control devices slowly started to lift like the skirts upon a hovercraft, revealing their multifaceted importance in everyday life. The revered book underscored and underscored again that valves, contrary to his former beliefs, were not heavenly gifts at all, but actually man-made marvels. At first, this revelation was a crushing, whimpering, wheezing blow. Obviously, the valves he had held in such high regard were merely the product of human ingenuity. Christ almighty, he must have thought. But as the initial revulsion and temporary incapacitation caused by intimate soiling wore off, it was replaced by a pulsating curiosity. He yearned to understand how gate valves were used to control water supply in homes. He quivered at the prospect of immersing himself in the butterfly valves that we all know play a crucial role in HVAC, heating, ventilation, arguing and cooling, of course. And what made his new best friend, the globe valve, indispensable in regulating flow in pipelines. He yearned to learn more about their technical aspects, their different types, and their various uses, such as in big nozzles, machinery, and even domestic appliance. With his newfound knowledge, Morrissey was ready to delve deeper into the depths of the fascinating world of the valve, further exploring their irreplaceable role in maintaining the rhythm and beauty of our everyday lives. Despite this enthusiasm, being of relatively simple mind, Morrissey faced challenges in his quest to understand valves. Now this is a really sad bit. The technical aspects of these seemingly simple devices he deemed complex and often extremely overwhelming. Diagrams of internal structures, understanding the physics behind the fluid dynamics, the labyrinth of industry-specific terminology, all these posed formidable obstacles useful to our story. Morrissey found himself grappling with concepts that were, at times, well beyond his limited comprehension. There were moments of intense frustration, moments when he questioned his own abilities, moments when he doubted whether he could ever, or actually never, or even forever, but never whenever, truly understand the intricacies of these man-made marvels. To be honest, there were times when he actually got a bit wiggy, and Big Jean or Mary, that's why I mentioned them earlier, would have to give him a beaker of special milk in an effort to make him calm the F down. Yet with each challenge, his resolve only stiffened. The struggle was real, but so was his determination. That was real too, as real as the real struggle mentioned before. He spent countless nights poring over textbooks in the dark, sketching diagrams in the dark, and watching tutorial picture films with the light on. He sought help from his reluctant teachers, who, though full of admiration of his relentless pursuit of knowledge, found Morrissey himself tiresome and repetitive. He even reached out to local plumbers and engineers to gain practical insights. He did this using a coordinated campaign waged via the small ads section of his local newspaper. As I'm sure you can imagine, this led to a number of embarrassing, though humorous, misunderstandings, which I don't have time or the legal capacity to go into here. To get back on track, the road was hard, and the journey was long, but Morrissey was not deterred. Not deterred, got that? His passion for learning about valves remained undeterred. In case I didn't make that clear enough, it was a beacon of hoops amidst a tumultuous sea of self-doubt and frustration. For he knew that every struggle, every challenge was a stepping stone towards his ultimate goal, to unravel the fascinating world of valves. Through a chance lay-by encounter with a liquid waste engineer, Morrissey finally stumbled upon the globe valve, a term that very much piqued his interest, I don't mind telling you. With a name that suggested something far-reaching and universal, the globe valve seemed to promise a deeper understanding of the valve's purpose. So, he gorged himself on the details. The voiceover explains the globe valve, as Morrissey came to find, was not named for its global influence, but rather for its spherical body shape, of course. A diagram of a globe valve pops up in your mind, showcasing its internal parts. Inside this spherical body, the voiceover, that's me, continues, is a movable disc or plug and a stationary ringside seat. The plug can be lowered or raised by turning the valve handle, enabling or disabling the flow of fluid. Morrissey was astounded by this simple yet ingenious design. It was a perfect example of human inventiveness, a testament to our ability to manipulate the world around us for our aims, both nefarious and otherwise. It was in this moment that Morrissey truly began to grasp the complexity and brilliance behind these flow-regulating wonders. His already deep understanding deepened even deeper. His respect swelled, and his passion for valves became an obsession. The globe valve was his gateway into the breakneck world of fluid control enthusiasts. And there was no turning back now. Paris, Rome, and other places. The world was Morrissey's proverbial oyster. Though it should be noted, the oyster has nothing at all to do with valves. Actually, come to think about it, the phrase bivalve has popped into my head for some reason. Maybe I'll look that up later. This is a bit long now, sorry. Later, a knowledge bomb so powerful landed on Morrissey that he had to take a moment to steady himself against a nearby balustrade. This revelation came in the form of his personal discovery of the gate valve. Apart from the bit about the balustrade, I don't have any details about how Morrissey discovered it, though I expect it was in a museum or something. I go on to explain, unlike the globe valve, the gate valve is designed primarily as an isolating valve. It's not meant for regulating flow, yes, but rather for completely stopping or allowing it. Stop or allow. Stop or go would be a better way of saying it, I think. Again, allow a 3D model of a gate valve to appear in your mind, rotating slowly to reveal its inner workings. The gate valve, I continue, works much like a gate or a door. When the valve handle is turned, it raises or lowers up, down, a rectangular or circular disc or gate, portal, door, etc., which either blocks, stops, or allows, goes, the flow of fluid. Morrissey was, apart from the name, stark by the struck contrast between the globe and gate valves. He marveled at how a debonair twist of design could result in a completely different function and looked to take you from day to evening. This reaffirmed his belief in the boundless potential of human creativity and ingenuity. It was a testament to the ability of the human mind to create solutions tailored to specific needs, especially when the prospect of sweet commercial gain is present. This valve was a symbol of our capacity to adapt and innovate with style. The world was going to be A-OK. Morrissey's journey, which to me at least now feels relentless, continued unabated. The gate valve had opened both his eyes simultaneously, or it had been an eye-opener if you prefer. I don't. But as you can maybe see from the video controls below, he was far from done. Next on his list was the check valve. not from the Czech Republic, as you might imagine me to say. Check valves, also known as non-return valves, are designed to allow fluid to flow in one direction only. You can imagine this one, I expect. It's probably like a cat flap or something. Anyway, when fluid flows in the correct direction, it pushes the valve open. But when the fluid tries to flow back, the valve closes, preventing any reverse flow. Yeah, exactly like a cat flap then. Yes. As Morrissey studied the check valve, he realized how crucial these valves were, especially in systems where backflow could lead to disastrous consequences, such as the toilet or porcelain throne if levity were to be injected here. From our domestic water systems to industrial processes, the check valve steadfastly plays its part, ensuring safety and efficiency. Seriously, guys, these valves are important. Get them checked pronto. This revelation was a powerful reminder for our hero of the unseen mechanicons that underpin our society. The humble check valve was another testament to human clevering, a simple solution to a complex problem that can be deployed en masse to maximize effectiveness. It was now clear to Morrissey, and perhaps even to you, that the world of valves is a mirror of our own world, where every piece, no matter how small, plays a critical role in the mesmerizing dance of existence. Quickening pace now. Morrissey invested a good many of the subsequent years of his life spelunking through the knowledge caverns labeled valves. He probed deeply into their deep depths, unveiling globe valves, I mentioned those earlier. Gate valves, previously discussed, employed primarily as isolating valves, a novelty. Check valves, discussed again, and innumerable others like ball valves, sorry we didn't talk about those, butterfly valves, earlier mentioned, and diaphragm valves, how did we miss these? Each one, as he discovered, had peculiar functions and traits, meticulously engineered for regulating, controlling, or halting the flow of fluids. Water was his favorite, closely followed by gravy, but Morrissey's expedition was fraught with the difficulties subjected upon it by this narrative structure. He didn't let these obstacles stop him. Absolutely not. He ventured further into the plethora of valve applications across myriad industries. He found out how these valves hold a substantial role in our residences or homes, governing the water flow in our showers, sinks, toilets, and, if you're like me in any way at all, bidets. In our automobiles, some people say cars, they aid in controlling the intake and exhaust flow. In potent power plants, valves oversee the steam flow to the turbines, and in the fragile human heart, they modulate the flow of love. Struggling to grasp such a complex subject, Morrissey's mind was first boggled and then later enlightened with the understanding of how these seemingly elementary widgets encompassed such intricacy and importance. It was a profound insight, a change in perspective, if you will. Will you? Are you there, Will? A change that was to color every aspect of Morrissey's life from that moment on. As the weeks turned into years, Morrissey had evolved from a naive, carefree, though inward-looking youngster with a fanciful, some might say ignorant, misunderstanding into a passionate and law-abiding adult with an in-depth grasp of this mechanical phenomenon as well as some other abilities. His investigation, fueled by an insatiable curiosity combined with a balanced diet, drew him away from esoteric theories and back to the tangible reality that was his true calling. From the humble kitchen tap that satiates our thirst and cleans our dirty sprouts, to the intricate valves in our hearts that sustain us. Though these are not engineered by humans, some say these might actually be conceived by a higher power, which would make them an anathema to this narrative. These mechanical wonders underscore the crucial aspects of several systems we, or rather you, frequently dismiss. As Morrissey delved into the technical details of valves, he wondered at the sheer ingenuity of the human minds behind these crucial devices. He recognized that the magical element was not in the creation of the valves, but in the inquisitiveness and intellect of those who engineered them, who I think we might nearly be there now. Morrissey's journey shed light on the fact that valves were not divine gifts, as no one really actually thought, but rather remarkable feats of human innovation and engineering, which we all knew anyway. However, through this realization, he fostered an unrivaled appreciation for the marvels of science and engineering, and was able to go on to have a successful solo career. Valves, in their wide variety and essential functions, govern our everyday lives in more ways than you commoners commonly realize. Perhaps in future we should all dedicate maybe just a small part of our tiny lives to emphasizing their serious significance and to helping others who may be less fortunate to understand by extreme force if necessary how deserving valves are of our boundless love and respect. Valves. Yes, valves. Almost there now, valves. Goodbye.